Now, the next person that I want to introduce is somebody who, when she makes a decision and when she decides that she wants something, I love how she just wills it into existence. And I remember one of the first times that I met with her and seeing her passion and excitement for what she wanted to do to bless her country, to bless her people, her community, and to expand RAIN into a market that we weren't in at the time. And we are now, and now that market and her team has done millions and millions and millions of dollars in sales, but it's because there was a core group of people and we had a leader who led and had that passion to have things happen. And so I'm excited to have everybody here from Tove today who is from Norway as well, who's gone and been one of the pioneers, the key pioneers to help us even be where we're at in that part of the world right now. So Tove, are you there?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we got it to work. See, but it's going to be worth it. It's worth the wait for sure. Well, thanks so much for being here. Now, Tove, I really do appreciate you taking some time because you really do have an amazing story on what's transpired here in RAIN because of you. But maybe you can give people an introduction on who you are and how you came in contact with RAIN. Just give people kind of the backstory a little bit.
Yes, I would love that. At first, I will take you back to 1976 because I was living in London. I was an au pair and I was staying with a family where both were working from home. So at 19 years old, I thought, is that possible to work from home? And then I will take you to 1985 when I was pregnant. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
great.
When I was pregnant with my first child, and I thought I would like to to work from home. So I went to the bank and I asked for money, and they wouldn't let me have anything in 85 because everybody was asking for loans. So I had sort of a seed planted in my head already as 19 years old that I would like to work from home. Anyway, I did get the loan in the end, and I was starting up for myself doing import from England. So I supported all the health food shops with health food for years. I had politicians from the government who would talk nicely about the products. And while I was doing that, I was told about the company about 20 years ago. And in spite I had a really huge import company, I fell in love with the idea that you could do MLM, which means anyone with a small startup cost could start their own business. So I just walked away from a very big
There we are.
Okay.
Yeah, so you
Did
said
you hear all of what I
walked
said?
away.
I didn't know.
Yeah, no, we could hear you. Yeah, we heard you.
Oh, that sounds
You
good.
said you walked away from something that you've been building.
Yeah, I did great with an import company with health food. So I was the only person who was allowed to sell to all the shops in Norway. I did that for years. And then I learned about network marketing. And I had two sisters. They're both teachers. I remember my sister said, when you do well, you will walk away. And she was right. It was so exciting. But again, I didn't have have anyone to share it with. So in spite I was doing great, I wasn't happy. So when I saw what MLM can do, that you make new friends and you have the excitement and you can share with other people, that really made sense to me. And that you can help other people to do a business too. So long story short, about 3 years and 4 months, I was talking to a friend of mine in Sweden, and she would we were talking back and forth, and just before she was about to hang up, and she says, by the way, I was approached by Paul Engelman yesterday. And I said, oh, why? And she was saying, oh, he was looking for people in Europe, but the company was not going to open Europe. So why would anyone sign up if they are not going to open Europe? So long story short, I was curious. So I did message Paul Engelman on his Facebook. I never met him before, but I have seen Paul from other companies doing great videos. And I thought, I will contact him. So he had the double diamond on his plate just by I contacting him on Facebook. So I asked him what it's all about. And he said it was a company called Rain. And curious as I am. And they also told me they are not going to open up more countries. And when I started to look at the home pages, I did Google black cumin seed, and I was sold. I thought, I'm definitely going to be a part of this. So can you imagine the excitement? Sort of Paul and I will be talking back and forth for hours. How are we going to kick this off? But because I've been in networking for 30 years, I know that you have to start somewhere. So I said to him, look, you can sign me up from your address. So the first order I ever did for Rain, I was staying in his house. Still, I haven't been there. I was in Norway though. So I signed up, and I can remember how exciting it was. Will the customer give me the products? There was black cumin seed there. And at that time, black cumin seed was classified as medical in Norway, funny enough. Anyway, he sent me the products. I think I had them about 1 month. And then luckily, Paul knows Aaron Palmer. So poor Aaron. So we both, Paul and I, would start contacting him. And Paul, as you know, Aaron was very polite. He said, I'm sorry, we can't open up more countries because Baron Belka said no more countries. And then I sort of thought, oh my gosh, they have to understand they need us. So what I did, I started to write to him, and I remember he said to me, Tove, can't you just please wait? Can't you just wait until Norway open? And I said, so how are you going to open when you're saying no? You have to start somewhere. But anyway, so what did we do? Back and forth, yes. And I decided I have to come up with some solutions here because he kept saying no. In my head, that was just the beginning of yes, because I wanted it desperately. I mean, really desperately. And so I said to my husband, we have to go to Sweden and see if I can find an address in Sweden so we can make the import going to Sweden. And I never forget it because we went to Sweden. It's sort of 2 hours by car one way. And I walked out in the street asking people, can you please help me? I need an address in Sweden because I'm going to do a business that is not open in Norway. People just looking at me. Is she mad or something? And I remember people said no. And I remember one lady said to me, you're not serious. And I was so thinking in my head, you have no idea how serious I am because I want this. And I remember I walked out to my husband and he was waiting for me patiently. And he said, Tove, I really feel sorry for you. And I just laughed and I said, sorry for me? No problem, we are going to fix this. It's just those people said no. But luckily, across the border from Sweden, from Norway to Sweden, it's quite near to Trondheim, and you have been to Trondheim anyway. So and Sven said, well, I used, because my husband also is a musician, he plays the guitar. So he said, I have been doing some gigs in this hotel, so maybe we should go and ask them. And you won't believe it, they closed in 3 minutes when I walked in. And I said, can you please help me? I need an address in Sweden so I can get going with this business. And she says, oh, there's a petrol station about 2 minutes from here. So in the wood, in middle of nowhere, there was a petrol station. That's where Rain started, so you know. And anyway, they gave me the address, and I will go back to Aaron and say, no, I fixed an address in Sweden. And I said, we don't have anyone in Sweden. So you can't open Sweden because we don't have anyone there. So I will go back to him and says, look, I will find someone there. And I even remember I wrote to him, I can promise you I will bring in thousands of people, just trust me. I've been in the industry for many years. Well, the business partners or the leaders, I do know they were occupied with something else. So I did know it would be difficult, but when you have this idea that you want something, you want it so bad that you just do whatever it takes. But luckily, they did tell you. And at that time, I don't remember if I had started to sign up people, but they did ship. So my address has been, first I was in America, then there was the Netherlands, and then it was Hungary, and then it was Sweden, and then Norway. So I've been sort of living in 5 different countries through this journey. But again, yes, I knocked some doors, but luckily you know who they are, and they know who they are. They were leaders there, and when they heard about this idea, and they wanted it as bad as I did. So with that being said, they were working really, really hard to get this going. So I think that, but I would like to thank you that you did trust in us, and that you also were able to drive trucks from Budapest to Sweden. You should have seen us, because we were lining up with lots of cars that were going to pick up the products. And I remember one lady in my team, she would bring her ex-husband, she would bring her daughter, her whatever, because if you're going to bring products from Sweden to Norway, you're allowed to have maximum for $300 US. Each person can bring $300 US. So that means we have to fill up the car with people. So that's what we were doing for a long time, back and forth. And we had people who were, and then we started to sign up people other places in Norway, and we would go into Sweden and pick it up, and we would ship it to them. So that's how it started.
Well,
and
I remember Aaron reaching out to me, and I was going to do an event in Budapest, and Aaron's like, "Hey, I need you to do me a favor. We've got some people that are going to be coming into town. I know you're going to be busy with everything, but can you please sit down and just hear what they have to propose and what they're doing?" And I remember when we met for that first time, in the little conference room at the event that we were having in Budapest, and I could feel your energy, and I could feel your passion. And what I always love to do, whether it's another country or whether it's just another city, is you can always test the leadership and see, are they going to do those things? And everything that you said, Tove, that you were going to do. And it wasn't simple and easy, like you're saying. You had to jump through a lot of hoops to make things happen, but you did it. You and your team, you guys, I got to commend you, because it's hard enough to build this business, but when you're trying to build a business and you have all these roadblocks in front of you like you had, it's just going to be more difficult. But yet you guys were determined, and you were determined to bring this concept and this company to your country. And then here we are today. And I still remember that first meeting. I was impressed with you then. And I remember you saying, and I've had people tell me all sorts of things. Byron, I can do this. Byron will do this. Byron, you got to do this. But I could feel your passion and your energy, and then just seeing what you were all able to do was just inspiring. So yeah, I want to support leadership, and that's exactly what you exhibited and what you did and what you've continued to do. So congratulations for you too, for making something. We wouldn't be in Norway. I mean, as you know, that was not our plan. We weren't focused. We are in a lot of countries. And so I was like, well, we can't go into any more countries right now. But now Norway is one of our biggest markets in the company.
Wow. I'm really happy and I'm proud for it. And I also want to say thank you to my team, because this is teamwork. It's so important for me to emphasize that. Yes, I was the one starting it, but if those people hadn't listened, but I remember when I was talking to the people and they said, "Oh, Tove, I can't do another company. What do people think of me?" Because we who started this off, we have been in the industry for many years. So we have been using up our contacts. And I remember I said to one leader, she's a diamond anyway now, and I said, "Look, you can just say this is new science. People, the world haven't never seen this before." And in the end, she did catch it. So I had to work hard on people to make them join me. And still, I promised Aaron many thousand people. So I had something to live up to. But I mean, but the product is so strong, and when people started to take it, they would feel something. So it doesn't matter how hard working or my willpower if the product is rubbish, which it wasn't, because we have all these testimonials. And I also think that when we were working so hard, it makes us like a unit. What should I call it? You know, the all excitements, and we wanted it so bad, and we know we had all those hurdles. I think that made us strong in a way.
Yeah, it made your drive, your commitment,
Yeah.
your ambition increase. But that's and then not only did you help us get into Norway, but then you led the way. You're being one of our first leaders, one of our first diamonds, one of our first people to go make things happen, and being able to look back now and see the millions and millions of dollars in sales that have happened because somebody made a commitment, somebody was willing to pay the price, and somebody was willing to stick to that commitment. I know that there were some very frustrating and difficult times. You know, I know it wasn't just driving back and forth. I mean, that's commitment itself, just putting people in your car and having a train of cars lined up to get product across the border. I know that in and of itself, but there were a lot of things that had to be overcome. Like you said, it was first considered more of a pharmaceutical because of the black cumin and where we've had to go, and then environmental this. I mean, there's so many things I know that we've had to overcome to be where we're at today, and it wouldn't happen if, like you said, that commitment and that passion and that drive and that vision that you had from the beginning wasn't there. It wouldn't have happened.
Right. But it helped that I've been an importer. I've been in the industry for some years. I had experience, but not starting a new country like this. I hadn't done that before. But again, what did I say? But we were really lucky because somebody else did take that fight regarding the black cumin seeds. So I don't, because there was two options saying I shouldn't even start it because you were so, not you, but yeah, I did remember Aaron said no so many times, and I felt like a terrorist sometimes. and I do know he at one time said to Paul, "I'm spending more time on this Tove than all the team in the whole Europe." And I was sort of thinking in my head, I'm going to show him. It will be worth it. But thanks again to those people around me, because I'm only one person. So it's all about the team. And I think that's important that everyone on stage thanks their team, because they wouldn't be there. I couldn't. So from I think it was about 20 people I signed up, and from them I helped them. So the first thing I do, I made a home Facebook page where I posted all the videos they should look at. And I also did the homepage in Norwegian so people know what to do, because there's a lot of things you have to teach, like how you do things. But again, I think that what was very nice of you that you did dare trust us, because I did propose to Aaron that why don't you ship products and I can take them in my house and people can pay and they can collect them. That's how I used to work, because like I said, I used to be an importer. So I used to import leather clothing for years, and the factories in London, on my honest face, they just shipped a lot of clothing. And when I sold them, I was in Norway, I shipped the money, I sent the money to them. So it's, yeah. But I think that it was very nice of you that you shipped so much product, because that gave us so much energy, and we saw all those products in front of us. So we had stock all the time. So that helped. So you did really trust us.
Well, you earned that trust too through the actions and through that commitment. And I love what you said there, Tove, as you're talking about having some experience. You knew what it was like to be an importer. You've been in the industry before. And so when you see something, it reminds me as you're sharing this, kind of, Rain's story. Here I saw something being in the industry that I hadn't seen before. And were there easier paths? A lot easier paths. Were there easier things that I could have done or spent my time doing? Could I have promoted another company's product? Could I have done? There's so many things that could have been easier than the route that we took. To even start Rain from the beginning and then to go into Norway. I mean, there's so many things we could have done easier, but it's not about easy. It's about when you know that you've done something, that can literally change lives, that this
Yeah.
is what we've been waiting for. This product is different. This concept is different. It's crazy what we're willing to go through when we know what we have.
Yes, and not sometimes maybe the trucks was a bit late, so people have been paying the money, and they have to wait maybe 1 month, 2 months at the worst. And I had people phoning me, said, look, I'm going to contact the police, or I'm going to the newspaper to tell them how bad rain is. And I said, look, this is a new company. That's how it is. And many people say, I'm not going to do anything now. I'm going to wait until it's perfect. In the beginning, I would say to people, it's no, I need you. We have to show them that we are worth, that they are going to even look at us. So what happens is everybody is going to sit back and wait. I hate that word. You have to get some results so you can move.
Exactly.
But again,
right. Exactly right. Well, and everybody, whether they realize it or not, I think whether it's Norway or whether it's somebody's team in a small city in the U.S. or wherever else, somebody had to pave the way. Somebody had to be the first. Somebody had to make that commitment and create that trail that did not exist, so that a freeway can eventually be there, so that a highway can eventually be there. And I think so many times it's easy to think that there's not a lot of commitment or sacrifice or different things like that when somebody comes in, when everything is a lot more streamlined than it was. But there's always a price that has to be paid. And even now, for somebody to be consistent and go out there and do that. And I'm grateful, because there's going to be so many people in the future that benefit and are blessed because you were willing to pay the price that you did, to have that commitment, overcome those crazy times when we couldn't get product in, we were trying to get things approved, and we're, like you said, people waiting, because we were trying to build it, set it all up, do all these things. And a lot of people don't understand what you had to go through, what a lot of people in your team had to go through, and, to get where we're at today. But we can make it easier for people in the future, and that's what we're doing. That's why RAIN continues to pick up steam and momentum, is because those prices have been paid. Those freeways are turning in, or those highways are turning into freeways, and we're continually expanding and growing and making things happen. So I'm grateful for you. I'm so glad that you're a part of RAIN. I'm so glad that you've done what you've done. And just to be able to know you, to meet like we did in Budapest, and to see where it's come from that point to now, it's just inspiring. And so, from me to you, once again, Tove, thanks so much for all that you do. Thanks so much for your commitment and your tenacity, your passion. I mean, it's not going to happen without that. And that's an amazing trait and quality that you have.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But
So,
anyway, I was so proud when Russ said to me, because of what I started, they were going to open up 12 new countries. Did you
it's
know
just
that?
going to keep expanding. I mean, it really is. And that's what I love about this business is I always have to try to tell that we're trying to hold it back and do it right. But as I tell my other investors and partners, this is something that is so good that it's hard to contain. It's going to be hard. Like, even if we said, we're going to only be in the U.S., no other market ever, we're only going to focus here, it's going to expand, because what we have is so good, and we're using people and people sharing, as the platform. And so, if there was...
Norway is very typical for doing well in MLM. So to me, it was like sort of, what? Not Norway? It didn't make sense. There we go.
It's been amazing. And there's a lot of people's lives who've been blessed with these products because of that, Tove. So
I'm
we're getting close to the end of our hour here, that you would recommend or say to anybody that wants to make changes in their life, feels like there's something missing, whether health or freedom or just anything that they feel that they're lacking, and they're looking at RAIN as that being a solution to help them get more. Is there any words of advice or encouragement you'd give anybody that's looking at RAIN?
When I talk to my team, I try to teach them about how you talk to people. It's like what Leif just said. I have this book here, which I always use to people, because it's all about finding out what people want. So I will recommend people to have like a business card where you write on your business card extra income. I'm reading now, so that's what I'm looking for here. Extra income, financial freedom, have your own business, more spare time, personal development, helping others, meeting new people, leave a legacy. I could also add better health. So what I've been sort of teaching people all the time, it's so important that we don't sort of, we have to learn that other people don't necessarily want what we need. So when I talk to people, I will show them this list and will ask them which one does appeal to them. And many people will say, oh, I would love to make another $500 or whatever. We would like to travel more. We would like to take 1 year off. I mean, people have so many dreams, but in a normal job, you can't do that. So this is about me loving the industry, that people with a small amount can start a business of their own. And
Exactly right.
But again, we can't talk more. It's 7:04 now.
I know we could keep going, but this has been great, Tove, and I appreciate you. And like you're saying, like that book, the questions are the answers. If we can help people find out what they're after and be that solution, it's amazing. So thank you so much for taking time today, for hopping on, and for your commitment and just what you've been able to help accomplish within RAIN and within teams and within the country of Norway. And now as we're expanding, it's amazing to look back. I have the good fortune of being able to watch so many things from that seed. We talked about seeds. From that seed to flourishing into something amazing. I've got a perspective that's pretty unique because I get to see experiences like this with you all across the globe. And I'm just so honored and blessed to be a part of it. And just want to thank you for taking some time today. Thanks so much, Tove.
Yeah. Thank you for everything.
Hey,
yeah,
all right.
See you. Bye.
Yeah, everybody, thanks for tuning in today to this week's Hour of Power. We wish you all the success and continue to go out there. And as you've heard today, there's a lot of principles we can take from today and implement in our businesses and in our lives to be able to push things forward, bless others, and get closer to our goals and dreams by using this as a platform. So thanks for tuning in. Wish you all the success. And as we always say at RAIN, let's go out and make it rain, everybody. Take care. We'll see you.